In this video, I'm going to go over problem number 4 from your practice assignment for week 3. So in this question, it asks you to find the return sales for a return order. So for the return order, you have the order ID and you want to match that order ID with an existing order and look up the sales amount for that. Let's go to our Excel file. So this set of columns have information about each order, and here you have the order ID that was returned. We want to look up the sales amount for these returned orders. We use the Vlookup function. It's a very powerful and frequently used function because it makes it very convenient for you to look up information about different things that are nested within large data sets. So Vlookup. So here's the information your formula needs. So it wants to know what is your lookup value. So what are you trying to look up? We are trying to look up this order ID. Where is that information that you are finding? The information is within this table, this order table. So you have to select the table. Always start with what you're looking up. So if we're looking up order IDs, this is where we are starting with. The limitation of VLOOKUP functions is that you can only look up values that are on the right of the lookup value, so you can only find something that is on the right. You have to use different functions to look up values on the left of this order ID. So that's why we use a lot of like match and index functions to look up things on the right. Okay, we have our lookup value. Let's select the table. So we'll start with order ID. This is a very large data set that goes on till like row 900 or 9,995. So it's a lot to manually drag and select. So instead, you can use some Excel shortcuts. So you can hold Shift Control down, and that will select all the way till row 9,995. And then we want to go right. The Shift Control right, and there you go. It has the entire table there. Okay. So we have our table. The next part is the column index. So this is finding the distance between your order ID, so what like the value that you're looking up, to the one that you want to be reported. So we want sales to be reported. So there are other ways that you can count with this, but like if we were just counting, then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's the column 13 from order ID. So that's your column index number, 13. You can label the columns with numbers to get the exact distance between what you're looking up and the value that you want reported. And then the next thing that we need is to mention what kind of match we want, whether it's an approximate match or exact match. You usually want an exact match unless you are working with, there are like some cases where you do want approximate match, but those instances are very little. Like this information was entered manually where different people spell the same thing in different ways. Those are examples where you might want to use an approximate match. But in this case, the order IDs are so similar, we need the exact match. Here you go. So it looked up the sales amount for this order. Control F to look up Command V. All right, let's find this order. So it only gives you the first column, so you can see the return order is 12.624. Technically, we're not looking up the entire order. just the first value. There are ways that you can look up the entire order too. All right, so there you go. So now if we want, we can populate the remaining rows. But before we do that, so as we drag this, we know that as we're like thinking of referencing, we would like to absolute reference this so that our table does not change. Okay, the table remains the same for all these orders. So you want to absolute reference your table. That is, put $signs before both row and column numbers. If you use the F4 function, we'll make sure it's function F4 if you're using a Mac. We'll do that. Okay, so there you go. That's all our return sales. Okay. Hope you find this video useful for your assignment and you're able to replicate it. Thank you.